Well, it finished Burnley 2, Sunderland 0. I said in my preview yesterday, it's going to be a harder game this week than what it was last week. Obviously, they will come back off the 3-0 jumping off Spurs. And it was the first home game back in the Premier League. And, like I say, you've probably just watched what I've just watched. But before we get into this, as always, to apologise, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you're new. And, of course, every video was brought to you by 10 Away Garage Doors. So, we lined up, as expected. I said it, I think Paul said it as well. The only change we'd see from last week would be Sale on the bench and Alderete in the starting 11, which was the case. However, Ballard ended up getting injured in the first 5 minutes, went off and Sale came on. So still 10 of the players from last week, but Alderete was obviously the new starter. It was a frustrating one. I did say it was going to be a harder game this week than what it was last week. And it was right. I mean, Mayenda had that chance in the first 5 minutes where he should have done better. But he didn't. And it stayed 0-0. They had a goal disallowed by VAR. Excuse me. This goal disallowed by VAR. And they were the better team. Some people disagree. I spoke to a few people at the pub where we watched it and they were getting, oh, we'll match them. But at the end of the day, we might have matched them, but we didn't create any chances. Apart from that, my own chance. We didn't test their keeper once. We were playing about, we were passing about, we were moving all right. Quite a few passes were going a bit wayward. To me, it looked as though Burnley wanted it more. That's just my perception on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. It looked as though Burnley wanted it more. Obviously, like I say, they had the home advantage. And obviously, they come back off a scudding last week off Tottenham. And they wanted more, and they made their chances count. I mean, the first goal was an Elva finish. Good work, nice little flick, nice finish. But like I said, we didn't offer anything. We were running about a lot, passing the ball about a lot at the back and in the middle and all. But like I said, we didn't create any chances. That's now all three promoted teams have won at least one game in the first 2 weeks. Last season, it took Leicester and Southampton until October to win their first game, and Ipswich till November. So we're still ahead of the curve of if you go by the stats of the three promoted teams and all that. But like I say, focusing on the Burnley Sunderland game. Burnley won 2-0. Quite frankly, I'd say they deserved it. Yeah, we might have shared similar amounts of possession as what they did, but they made theirs count. To me, it looks as though they wanted it more. We were very lackadaisical, if you will, in possession. We were giving the ball away too much. The passing was a bit sloppy, if you will. But like I said, the fact of the matter is we didn't create any chances. And if you don't create chances, you're not going to score any goals. So it's one of them ones. It's back to the drawing board. Obviously, Ballard went off injured, which is a massive, massive hit. But because we've got strength and depth, I suppose it means that Mukele can come straight in. But he hasn't played a game with any of the team yet. We're expecting to see him on Tuesday against Huddersfield in the Cup. But we'll have to wait and see. But just a short one. Fact of the matter is, Burnley away, our first away game. Technically a championship game for last season. They beat us 2-0. And me, for one, I think they probably deserved the win overall. We didn't create any chances. So all we have to do is pick ourselves up, move on. On Tuesday, I'm expecting to see a completely different lineup. I'm expecting to see a lot of the, if you will, start 11 that we've seen so far rested in the likes of Neil, Rigg, Roberts and all that starting, Isidore starting. We've been told McKeely's going to start. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But we need to pick ourselves up, not be too disheartened by it. Like I say, it's only game 2. And we move on. Next week, the big one, Brentford at home. We need to make that count. Burnley 2, Sunderland 0. It's just the way it is. We're the lads.